Hello and welcome back. As you saw, we rebranded the channel. It's now called Beautiful Ashes. My name is Tom and I'm your host. And for today's episode, I just want to talk about something really that I found really profound and important, even as I go on my journey, that I think you guys would find really valuable. And that is being able to push through the frustrations. I still don't know what I'm going to call this episode yet, but I'll know by the end of the episode. Now, one of the things that I'd like to highlight is whatever journey that you're starting out on, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're trying to build, whatever kind of expert businesses that you envision yourself kind of building out or actually becoming, or whatever kind of business that you kind of dream of making, there's something that you need to understand that a lot of the process from you getting to where you are right now to where you want to be, even in that vision, even in that dream, it will take a lot of figuring it out. Okay, so I'll do a different episodes about figure out ability. But for now, I just need to realize it's going to take a lot of figuring it out. And the thing about figuring it out is there's going to be a lot of frustrations along the way. I remember the first time that I built a website, I learned how to use, and this was about 10 years ago from now. That was in 2014 when I started learning how, I taught myself how to do HTML, PHP, a bit of JavaScript and CSS. Now, at that time, I didn't have a teacher, I didn't have a course. So what I was going on was mostly Code Academy, where I taught myself how to code. And then from then on, I learned from books by O'Reilly. And so from then on, I was able to kind of learn how to do HTML, CSS, PHP, and all that. And then from then on, I built my first website. It took me about 2 weeks of dedicated study, morning till evening, and each and every single day, whereby I was studying using PDFs. And you can imagine how hard that is. There was no videos. I didn't have enough bundles. I didn't have enough internet coverage just to kind of stream and learn. So I was just using PDFs. That just goes to show you how much dedication that you also need as well. But that's a separate episode. And so as I was doing it, there's a lot of frustrations along the way. If any of you has ever done web development or even coding or programming in general, you realize that there's a lot of mishaps that happen. There's a lot of hiccups that come up. You do something and then you press run, but it doesn't actually do the thing that you want to do. And so you have to go in there and then you kind of figure out what went wrong, what the problem was. And there's a lot of frustrations. And so what am I trying to say here is you need to be able to push through the frustrations. And so these frustrations are going to be there. I remember even then once I figured out how to do the website, how to actually code a website, I was doing it on a local browser. And then I got a client a few weeks later and the person asked me to build them a website for their business. And so when I went around to building the website, what happened was I did not know how to work around cPanel. I did not know how to do HTTP transfer protocols. I had no idea about these things. I only learned about HTML, CSS, PHP, and JavaScript. And so I had no idea how to interact with server side. And so even the PHP that I was learning that was supposed to be server side scripting, for those of you who are aware or know about programming language, especially around the web, you realize that there's some interactions that you actually kind of need to experience. So I didn't even know how to host a website online. And so I had to go figure it out even some more. And so what happened is at the end of 2 weeks, I was able to build up my website and had a website host and everything. I didn't even know how to create an email using that domain. And so what happened is there was a lot of frustrations along the way, but I did not give up because number one, I was getting paid for it. So I couldn't really give up. And actually, I was getting paid about $130. So at the time it was $1 for 100 shillings. So I could actually give up that money because I really needed the money. And so there was no way I was going to give up that money. And so what happened is I had to push through the frustrations. And so here's the thing that I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not going, now if you think it worked out the first time round, it did not. There are so many mishaps along the way. The first time I did it, it didn't even upload. I tried to upload it again. It didn't even work. There were some misconnections between connecting the different pages, even the structure of how you're supposed to save the web pages online. I didn't even understand either of these things. And so it took a process whereby each and every single day I would run into a roadblock and then I have to figure that out, and then another roadblock, and then I have to figure that out, and then another roadblock, and then I have to figure that out. And so it was a process that is quite frustrating for me. And so what happened was I was not able to do it the first time round. And so for those of you who think it's going to be easy the first time round, you're going to do it the first time round. I'd like to tell you right now that it's not going to be easy the first time round. You will not figure it out the first time round. In fact, you're going to fail a lot of first time. There's going to be a lot of failures even along the way. And so you realize that eventually I was able to actually build out the website, but there are probably maybe 20, 30, 40 stops that I had to make whereby I couldn't figure something out and it was frustrating. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys in this episode is learn to push through the frustrations. It will not work the first time round. And the main reason for this is because There are going to be frustrations, like I said. There are going to be hiccups. There are going to be bottlenecks. There are going to be mishaps. There are going to be stumbling blocks. There are going to be unforeseen things that you did not expect or you did not predict that would happen even along the journey, that will happen along the journey. And so expect the unexpected, but don't let the unexpected stop you. Okay, so don't let the frustrations that come with the unexpected stop you along the way. And so what you need to do is learn to push through the frustrations. It is part of the process. So don't expect to figure it out the first time round. You just need to focus, and you just need to and this is what kind of builds up what call about when people talk about mental toughness and resilience, whereby you keep persistently pushing until you actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not about expecting that you're going to make it the first time round. You will not, and I promise you, you will not. And I've got so many other stories about this, but I think that was a very apt example. So don't expect to figure it out the first time round, but really, I do hope that you actually just push through the expectations. Even as you're following along my journey, even as I'm doing these episodes, there's a lot of frustrations that I'm getting, whereby sometimes I don't even know what to post about, I don't even know what to share. But guess what? Even as I continue to push through the frustrations, I am always seeing, like, I'm always conquering new ground. I'm always conquering new territories. And because of that, I'm able to go one step forward. I'm able to go one step forward. I'm able to go one step forward. So push through the frustration. That's all I can say on this episode. So learn to push through the frustrations. It will not work the first time round, and it shouldn't. Okay. That way you just give up. Okay, so you do it the first time and then you're just done, and then that's it. Can you imagine that everyone else would be a billionaire here? Everyone else would be a millionaire here. Everyone else would be an entrepreneur. Everyone else would be doing what they love and making money from what they love. But it doesn't work like that. Okay? And so there's a lot of things that you will need to work. There's a lot of things that you will need. It's kind of like a process whereby you need to prove that you're committed to this process long enough. That way you can see the results at the end. So it's like going to the gym. You will not get a built body on day one. Okay? But you still have to keep going at it. And so you have to push through the frustrations each and every single day, each and every single time, whatever things that come up along the way, you need to be able to push through the frustrations. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And thanks so much for your time and for listening. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.